That's what everybody in Europe had. They had a state-established denomination. Even the states had that. Virginia had the Anglican denomination as a state-established denomination. And even though Thomas Jefferson says that only about 1/3 of the state of Virginia were Anglicans, that was a state-established denomination. 2/3 of the state were Methodists and Presbyterians and Baptists and Quakers. If those 2/3 expressed their faith, the 1/3, the state-established religion, would come over here and whack the other denominations. They put them in jail, they fined them, they even killed people for preaching without an Anglican license. Now, that's a state-established denomination, and that's what the First Amendment prohibits. But the second thing, called the Free Exercise Clause, Congress can't mess with the free exercise. When Jefferson said separation of church and state, he attached the phrase to the Free Exercise Clause. In other words, because of separation of church and state, we're not going to mess with your free exercise of religion. What happened is in 1947, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case called Jefferson versus Board of Education, said, we think Jefferson got it all wrong. He should have attached separation of church and state to the Establishment Clause. That's what we're going to do. So we've done it 50 years that way in America, which now means that the government has to stop public religious activities. Exactly the opposite.
And Jefferson was trying to protect that.
He was trying
to say, we want to make sure the state doesn't prevent you from living out your faith.
Jefferson is the guy who started church service in the Capitol and went for nearly a century. You imagine the guy who said separation of church and state started a church that met in the House of Representatives every
federal
Sunday,
property.
on federal property. That Thomas Jefferson in 1804 told the religious schools in Louisiana, which we just purchased, Louisiana Purchase, he told those religious schools there, oh yeah, the government's still going to support you and patronize you and make sure that you get your religious message. The government's going to do this. You look at what Jefferson did, there's no secularization in there at all. And so should the government get involved with the church? No, the government should protect the institution of the church. It should cooperate with the church. It should facilitate the church. Matter of fact, that's why the government is not allowed to tax the church. That's why churches are tax exempt. That goes back to Ezra chapter 7:24, where the king says, hey, all the priests, all the church, they're not going to be taxed at all.